Hello, witchy people. So I'm laughing because I've recorded this, or tried to record this so many times, and it's got to the point now where my brain is, I'm not having a very good day. I have a bit of fibro fog. I suffer from fibromyalgia, and when we forget things, we call it fibro fog. And obviously, I do have certain brain problems. So I gave up in the end and I wrote some notes. So if I keep looking down, it's because I am checking up on my notes, and I'm really sorry that I've had to take notes. This is something, it's so annoying. It's something that's in my brain, and yet I can't seem to recall it anymore. There's a lot sort of going on. I can't get it out of my head anymore. Everything's like stuck in there with glue. Memory loss glue, I think I'll call it. Anyway, YouTube Pagan Challenge 2018 and the letter L. And for my L, I've chosen ley lines. There are a few other things that I had listed, and I can't find my list. I did a little bit of a tidy up, and you know what it's like. You do a tidy up and suddenly you can't find anything anymore. So yeah, I tidied up and now I can't find my original A to Z list of everything that I wanted to do. So ley lines it is. I don't know what I was originally going to do. Anyway, ley lines, what are they? They are lines in the landscape, sometimes, often not visible, not always not visible, but sometimes not visible, that connect sites of importance or landforms. So whether that be connecting a hill or a henge, a monolith, a megalith, you know, that sort of thing, that they are these lines, straight lines, they are dead straight, that connect these places of importance, quite often prehistoric places. Of course, historically as well, in more modern times, and I'm talking about in the last few hundred years, churches and such like have been built on or at either end of ley lines also, or where ley lines connect. Of course, one of the most famous places where a lot of ley lines connect is Glastonbury. But ley lines aren't actually an English phenomenon. They are worldwide, from England to Australia, the Americas, to Germany. They are a worldwide phenomenon. It took me a while to say that word. Phenomenon. They are a worldwide phenomenon. And I'm trying to think of the Nazca lines. There we go. There's one. The Nazca lines are ley lines. And what's amazing is that a lot of these lines aren't actually visible from the ground. You know, you have to be way, way up in the air to look down and see these lines. So why are they there? Some people say it's because of tectonic plates moving and separating underground, and that causes this magnetic field somehow, and that's what causes the ley lines. I'm not so sure myself. It probably makes a lot more sense to people who understand tectonic plates and how the earth crust and undercrust and everything move, whatever they want to call it. I'm not doing very well on this video so far. Anyway, some people say there may be of a spiritual significance, mystical, magnetic, natural earth energies. So lots of different reasons. And like I said, if you the Australian Aborigines have a map of Australia, and it's like this ancient map and it is just like it's a rough Australian shape. How they knew that this was the Australian country shape is amazing, but they did. And they have this, and it looks like the shape of Australia with like this basket weave effect going across, and every time these lines meet, there's like a little circle in between, and they are ley lines, and each time where these ley lines meet is a place of significance for Aborigines. And like, that's not just Australian Aborigines, it's all over the world. They may not call them ley lines, and you know, they have assigned different meanings and significance to the lines, but they are nevertheless ley lines. They are straight lines in the landscape, whether they're seen or not, that connect sites of religious, ritual or sacred importance. basically. Now, in Europe, they also have another name for ley lines, which was, by the way, if I haven't mentioned it already, I think the phrase ley line was coined in the early 1930s by Walter, his name escapes me, Walter someone. Anyway, in Europe, ley lines also have another name. They are called corpse roads, ghost highways, or spirit paths. And this is because it is supposed that ghosts and spirits cannot travel in a crooked or a wavy line. They can only travel in straight lines. And so this was where, and obviously, as I said, the last few hundred years, churchyards especially have been built at the ends or the convergence of ley lines. And so it was said that spirits could traverse these ley lines and visit each other in graveyards. So there you go. So, and they were called corpse roads, and quite often, of course, funeral processions used these straight lines, these straight highways going straight up to churches, and they were ley lines. And just because the churches happened to be built at the end of ley lines, and they also got the nickname through that. Now, in some places, I think it's Wales or Ireland. I think it's Ireland, and funnily enough, also the southern part of England used to have this, where you did have straight lines, sort of churchyards, but once they reached a crossroads, the straight lines stopped, and coming out of the main gates of churchyards, the road was quite often twisty and turny, and this was so that spirits and ghosts couldn't find their way back to the village. They had to, because they could only go in a straight line, they couldn't find their way through these little twisty pathways and get back to the village and haunt the people they'd left behind. So there we go. Mystical, sacred, spiritual, magnetic. What are ley lines? They are just really, apart from all of those things that obviously they do mean different things to different people, they are often invisible or unseen straight lines that connect places of historical or prehistorical importance in the landscape. I am going to stop wittering on now. Thanks for watching, people. Back for, what have I done? HIJKLM. Back for M next time. I have no idea what I'm going to do for M. It does mean that I'm halfway through. And like I said before, I know I'm racing ahead with this, but there is going to be a few months where I'm not going to be able to do anything. So there we go. Thank you for watching. Bye for now, witchy people. Have lots of fun, and I can't wait to watch everyone else's pagan ABCs. Bye bye.